In this lab in particular, what we look at is kind of a technology-driven way of producing innovation. So we take the latest kind of advances in sensing technology and machine learning and computer vision, and we look at how we can kind of bring to bear computation on human problems. So WorldKit is this kind of large multi-person project that we started about a year and a half ago at this point. And the core idea was really to say, what happens if we could let touch interaction and graphics kind of flourish in the world? The question is, how do you make a touchscreen without actually having to, every single table has to be covered in tablets? And that's when we use this kind of clever sensing technique that's primarily based on a depth camera to be able to enable touch sensing, multi-touch sensing on just any surface. So this is basically a Kinect at the top here, just ripped apart. So on your kitchen counter, you can have your kind of recipe helper. In your home office, you can have your huge calendar on the wall, and it can be all touch sensitive, and you can drag things from your computer onto your calendar super easily across the desk. And so what we can think of is, in 10 or 20 years' time, this will basically be kind of the light bulb of the future. Right, so Touche, which I did with colleagues at Disney Research, is basically capacitive sensing, kind of the next generation of capacitive sensing. So anything that's really conductive, you can plug this Touche sensor onto. So kind of a metallic doorknob or a pool of water or even kind of the metal frame of a table. So what FingerSense does is it says, let's not just poke at screens. This is what basically touchscreen interaction is like now. You kind of poke at the screen, or maybe you poke at it with 2 fingers. And so what FingerSense is trying to do is say, well, hey, humans have different parts of the finger. Let's see if we can bring that extra dimension of touch into touch interaction. What's really neat about working in the interaction space is that it takes a lot of probing. Because it's not like, the mouse is actually really quite simple conceptually, right? It's a ball that rolls in 2 directions. It wasn't like a landmark achievement in mechanical engineering. It's actually quite a simple idea in retrospect. But all these are obvious in retrospect, and once you actually experience them, you're like, wow, this is clearly awesome. And so the question is, what are those next ideas? And being able to find those is actually quite a challenge, and really why you need to be in the right environment to find them.